Hello everyone, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. This is what we're making today. We're using a sneak peek bundle, which I can't wait to share with you. It's so stinking cute. There's a little tree inside here that I will show you in just a second. But this is what we're going to make today. It's so cute, so make sure that you stick around to watch this adorable little treat. Before we get into our box though, while people are joining, let's talk about all of the Stampin' Up! Happenings. Paper Pumpkin for November. The subscription period is open. This one will be Christmas themed. It's going to coordinate with the October kit, which is on its way. I'm hoping I get it in the next couple of days. It's so adorable. I absolutely love it. This one is going to make 8 boxes. If you don't want to make boxes, there is a card add-on that you can purchase in my online store. You get 20 card bases, 20 envelopes. The card size is 5x7, so it's a much bigger size card. And that is $14 in my online store. So if you want to get Paper Pumpkin for November, make sure that you subscribe to that in my online store. All right, we have an incredible join promotion happening right now. If you are interested in joining Stampin' Up, if you'd like to join my team, I'd love to have you. We have an incredible offer going on right now. It is Stampin' Up's 35th anniversary. So you get 2 options. You can either choose 30% off the price of your kit, or you can get 35% more in your kit. 35% off or 35% more in your kit. So if you choose the 35% off, you would pay $64.35, but you would get to choose $125 in product, which is an incredible deal. Now, if you have a longer wish list, you want a little bit more in your kit, you can pay $99 and get 35% more product in your kit, which is you get $168.75 in product. So you pay $99, you get almost $170 in product. So it's a fantastic deal. If you have loved Stampin' Up! For a while, if you have a long wish list, this is a great way to do it. Our starter kits get free shipping, so you're already saving a ton on free shipping. And demonstrators get a discount on their purchases after the starter kit. So it's a great deal. There's no obligation to buy or do classes or sell or do any of that. You can be your own best customer, which a lot of demonstrators are, and probably every single demonstrator is their own best customer. All right, we have some brand new online exclusives launching. Now, this is not all of the products that we'll be launching. There are going to be more products. Demonstrators only get to see a little sneak peek of them, though. But this is what demonstrators can order, and there's also some glimmer paper that we can order. This is one of the bundles that is in the pre-order, the Fluffiest Friends Bundle. And if you join my team, you can actually put this in your starter kit. So you can put any of the pre-order items in your starter kit. So that is just another little perk. And this is what we're using today, this cute little bundle. This cute, these dies are so cute. There's a little beehive, a little branch, leaves, grass. All of these are just adorable, some balloons. So this is so stinking adorable. This is what we're gonna use today. We're gonna use this little bear. But man, do I love that beaver. I can't wait to make a cute project with that. So if you love the online exclusives, you can actually get them now. Otherwise, the online exclusives will launch in my online store on November 6th. This is the host code for today, or for this month. So if you are shopping my online store, please use that host code. All orders receive a PDF with 3 exclusive projects. If your order's over $50 or more, you're also going to receive a make and take kit that coordinates with that. Now, the only caveat for that is if your order's over $150, don't use the host code because you're going to get Stampin' Rewards for that. So if you are shopping, make sure to use that host code. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share it with your crafty friends. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out. All right, we're going to start with the box, and I'm using Crumb Cake for the box. And your measurements are going to be 9.5 by 6 3/4. So we're going to use our Simply Scored and do some scoring. All of the measurements are in the video description, so don't worry about writing them down. And they'll be on my blog in just a little while, as soon as this is over. So on the 9.5 inch side, the long side, we're going to score at 3.5, 4.5, 8, and 9. All right, now we're going to turn it to the short side, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1.5, and 5 3/4. Okay. All right, that's it. Easy peasy scoring there. Grab your bone folder and give that a really good burnish. All of those score lines. if you make a lot of boxes or any boxes at all, your bone folder is your secret weapon. That is going to give you the crisp lines that's going to make your box look extremely professional. So we always use that bone folder. This is a really affordable add-on you can add on to your order. All right, so there's 2 score lines on the top. So this is going to be the top. This is going to be the flap that folds down. So we're going to start on the bottom where there is only one horizontal score line. So we are going to cut straight up the long rectangle, and then on these little squares, we're going to notch in on the squares. So go straight up on the rectangles and notch in on the squares. Okay, and we're going to do the same on this side. So on that score line, straight up, and then notch in on the square. And then over here where we have this little 1/2 inch tab, we're just going to cut that right off. So we have a little 1/2 inch tab here. This is going to be our glue tab. So I just cut that at a little angle. Move that trash out of the way. So that's what your bottom should look like. All right, so let's flip it over. And I always need to check this. So this is the back of my box. And this is going to be the flap that we save. I want my little flap to open into the back of the box. So we're going to save this one. So we are going to actually cut this entire piece out. So cut down that score line down to that second horizontal score line. And we are going to, it's hard to see this score line. We're just going to cut this out. You can grab a paper trimmer and do this as well. Might end up a little straighter. That's just going to cut that whole thing out. All right, now we're going to cut the little tabs. So pretty much the same thing as the bottom. We're going to go straight down on the longer rectangle. And I'll go ahead and do both sides. Straight down on that longer rectangle. And then for this little square, we're going to cut off the 1/2 inch tab. And then we're going to notch these in. Just like that. All right, and we'll do the same on this side. You cut down this little tab here. And we're going to cut these 2 off, these 2 1/2 inch ones off. We're going to cut it at an angle. Cut that 1/2 inch tab off. And then, there we go. Trim that up. There we go. That is what your box is going to look like. So we have a 1/2 inch glue tab. We have our little flap that's going to fold down. Okay, we are going to do a little bit of punching, and then we're going to assemble this box. So I have the Best Label punch. This is the cutest little thumb notch punch that you'll ever see. So you just kind of eyeball. If you want to get out a ruler and measure center, you can, but I'm just measuring, eyeballing center between the score line and the edge. And I'm just punching like half of that Best Label punch, and that's going to give us a cute little finger notch to open our box. All right, and then we are going to round these corners. We don't currently sell a corner rounder, but I bet you might have one. We're just going to round the corners on that tab. All right, so all the trash out of the way, and this is our box ready to assemble. All right, so let's get some adhesive. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use tear and tape, Tombow glue, whatever you want to use. Use a strong adhesive. And this is just going to fold together, fold nice and flat, just like that. Now I like to fold the top of my box in. That gives me a little bit more stability when doing the bottom of the box, and it kind of squares everything up. So I know this is the back, so I'm going to fold in those tabs. I'm going to fold in the back, and then we're going to run some adhesive along the front tab. All right, and I still haven't showed you guys what's inside, huh? Well, trust me, it's cute. We're going to get to it in just a second. I'm not using a whole lot of adhesive on the bottom of the box. Our treat is not heavy at all, so it will sit perfectly in there. We are using some honey buns to go with our little bear and his pot of honey. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh. This was the very first treat I thought of when I saw this little bear and his honey. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make a little honey buns box. So check your local grocery stores for those Little Debbie honey buns, and this fits right in here, just like that. And how cute would this be for like a little morning meeting, teacher gifts for the morning? How cute, right? And it fits perfectly in there, ready to go. Okay, let's do some stamping. We're gonna do our little bear. So we're using the bundle again. Now there are dies to coordinate with it. I already have one finished and die cut, so we're just gonna do the coloring, because the coloring is gonna take a few minutes anyway. So I have my little bear. We're going to ink him up in Memento ink because we're going to color him with Stampin' Blends. If you wanted to use something else to color him with, watercolor pencils, or if you want to watercolor him, make sure you use StazOn. The Memento works with the Stampin' Blends, and the StazOn works with watercoloring. So use the proper ink. Isn't he adorable? My goodness. All right. We're only using 3 colors of Stampin' Blends. I've Daffodil Delight for the honey, so we'll start with that one because that is the smallest amount. So I'm going to do some dark just on like the left side, and then we'll come in with the light and just kind of blend that out, and that's it. Easy peasy for the honey. You could do the whole thing in dark. It's a small area. It really doesn't need a whole lot of blending. So you could do the whole thing with the dark if you wanted. Now for the little honey pot, we're using Moody Mauve, which is a new in color this year. So I'm going to, because the honey pot is curved, the darkest parts are going to be on the sides. So along the side where his little paw is holding it, it's going to cast a shadow. So we're going to go darkest around the sides and along this side as well. He's got his little paw there, so don't color that Moody Mauve. And then around the honey where it's going to be casting a shadow. And then in the back of the pot back here, it's going to be darker. So this is the only places I'm adding the dark. And then we'll come in with the light, do a little rim, just like that. We're not going to do any shading on the rim. And then on the rest of the honey pot, just kind of drag that, blend over those darker lines, and just kind of drag it into the center. And the center will be your lightest area. Just like that. Oh, so cute. Moody Mauve is probably my favorite new in color. It is just a superb color. Love it. Okay, now for our bear, we're using Crumb Cake. I'm making a brown bear. If you want to make a gray bear or a black bear or a pink bear or a blue bear, whatever. You can use whatever you want. I'm using Crumb Cake. You can use pecan pie. That would be another one. We also have our like skin tones collection, which has lots of amazing shades of like browns and ivories. That would be good too. Now I'm starting with my dark, and actually I'm going to pull out my brush tip because this is a little bit bigger space. So I'm going to color the whole kind of left side of him, go over his little knee there. Okay, and then I'm going to go under his face, around that honey pot. It's going to be darker right here around the honey pot. It's going to be casting a shadow, so just go with your dark. And then his arm, the bottom of his arm, down here along the bottom. The artist has given us some lines there to tell us these places are going to be a little bit darker, so add some shading here. So use those lines to your benefit. And his little paw right here, I'm just going to do dark. So this is his body, and that's the dark. So we'll come in with the light and then just blend that out. You can use either side of your Stampin' Blend. I'm using the brush tip just because this is a much bigger area. But again, use whatever side you are most comfortable with. So cute. And just make sure to hit those lines, those darker areas, and just make sure to blend them out. And his leg back here, don't forget his back leg. Okay, perfect. Now let's work on his face. So again, I'm going to go with the dark around his face, around his little nose area there, his muzzle, whatever you call that on a bear, not sure. And then just along the top of his head. So I'm just kind of outlining his head. And then we'll do the same thing and go in. Now you can add some like pinks to his ears. You can add pinks to his cheeks if you want. I didn't do that for this guy, but you could absolutely make him even cuter by doing that. All right, so there's his little face. Now for his nose, I'm just going to go over it with Crumb Cake. Easy peasy. And the same for the bottom of his foot. Just go over that with Crumb Cake. Now I'm going to bring in my Crumb Cake dark, but I'm going to go back to my bullet tip and then just color the little pads of his feet with the dark color. Okay, and that is our sweet little bear. Isn't he cute? He's so stinking cute. All right, now I told you I already had one ready to go. So through the magic of television, we have him all die cut. So let's get to assembling the rest of our box. So let me get the rest of my pieces here. So I have a couple pieces of our Fresh as a Daisy DSP. This is in our annual catalog, but the back sides of them they focus on all of our new in colors. So I have a piece of Moody Mauve here, and this is 3 1/4 by 4. And so it's going to coordinate perfectly with our little bear. And then I have a piece of boho blue that I have die cut using the Scalloped Contours dies. We're going to trim this one down just a little bit. So let me grab my little paper trimmer. And we're going to figure out, we're going to kind of lay this on. Where do we want it? And I think that looks good. So we're going to trim off 1, 2, 3, 4 scallops. And it's going to be flush with the edge. So let's put this in here. 1, 2, 3, 4 scallops. We're just going to put this in here and just cut down, and we have the cutest little accent piece there. Isn't that cute? All right, save this. You can use that for something else. All right, so let's get our little bear all assembled up here on our boho blue scalloped rectangle here. So I'm going to use some dimensionals behind the bear. This is a 3D box, so we're going to go heavy on the dimensionals. When you're handing out 3D boxes, don't skimp on the dimensionals. People want that dimension. So we're going to put them down here, and we're actually going to use this little stitch line on the die cut to as like our ground, our grass line. And I have already die cut from those die sets. I've already die cut 4 pieces of grass, and you get 2 of these grass pieces in here, so you can cut 2 at a time, which is fantastic. And I've just trimmed some little strips of dimensionals, and we're going to stick those on. Again, don't skimp on those dimensionals. So we're going to stick 1 on either side of him, just to kind of fill in the ground here. And again, we're using that stitch line on that die cut as a guide. And then we're going to come in and add even more grass kind of right on top. Move this one over just a little bit, like that. And so you're never going to see that little gap in there. This one's going to go right over it, just like that. So we have this nice little grassy meadow that he's sitting in. All right, let's get this attached to our piece of Moody Mauve DSP, and of course, dimensionals. Oh, but before we do that, nope, my dimensionals back. I have a piece of the Moody Mauve ribbon, and I just folded it in half and tied it with some of our Simply Elegant trim. And I'm going to stick this down. And this is actually a little long. This was just a scrap piece that I had from another project. But I'm going to glue this down just to the back like that. And I'm going to trim off this excess. We don't need that. All right, now we can stick this down with dimensionals. And so I'll put some on the back of this ribbon just to further secure it. And a few more pieces on here. Okay. Dimensionals. I go through a lot of dimensionals on a weekly basis. How do you guys do? Do you guys do a lot of dimensionals? I think that's definitely my most used adhesive. All right, so I'm just lining up that edge against the edge of that Moody Mauve piece. And isn't that adorable? So cute. All right, it is ready to go onto our box. But before we do, we're going to add some more DSP to our box just to fancy it up a little bit. We haven't done anything to the box itself to make it fancy. So we're going to use some of this what is it? Gorgeous Gingham DSP. I'm using the pecan pie color. It's going to coordinate great with our crumb cake. And I'm just adding lots of adhesive to the back of this piece. And this piece is 6 by 1.5. Now, this DSP does not come in 12 by 12. It only comes in 6 by 6. So 6 is the longest you're going to get. And it is barely going to wrap around our box. So I'm going to actually start on the back. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball center-ish. We're going to stick that down, and then we're just going to fold these over. Now this one might be cutting it a little close. These little ends are barely going to wrap around, but that's okay. Because, see, this one has a little bit more room on this side than this one, so if I made it a little bit more even, it would have been better, but it's still going to work. It'll still be okay. Don't worry. All right, so we have this wrapped around. This piece is going to go right on top and cover up those little ends. Isn't that cute? So nobody's ever going to know. So we're going to adhere this down. Nobody's going to know that that piece of DSP did not go all the way around. I'm actually going to start on this side because I want to make sure that this edge gets covered. And we're just going to stick that down just like that. So stinking cute, right? All right, we have a greeting. Now this stamp set does not have any greetings at all. So I'm sure you have greetings you can use. I pulled out my Wonderful Thoughts one, and I'm going to use this one. You're wonderful, you're loved, you matter. So I've already stamped that just on a scrap piece of white, and I'm going to grab my scissors, and we're just going to cut this apart. You're wonderful, you're loved, you matter. I'm just going to cut that apart into 3 different greetings, and we're going to stick some dimensionals on the back. So I'm just going to cut little strip of dimensionals here and just pull the back off. So this is how I added the dimensionals to my grass. I just trimmed up a little bit, pull off the back, just make a little strip. We're going to stick this one up here. You're wonderful. Just like that. And the next one, this one, you're loved. This one has great greetings in it too, the Wonderful Thoughts. It's a new bundle in our annual catalog, so you can check it out. There's amazing dies that go with it too. You're loved. I'm putting them real close together. And then one more. I just need to trim a little bit more. There we go. That on the back. You can also use our adhesive sheets and trim them up however you need to. I always have these dimensionals on my desk, so it's just easy. And then you matter right there. I'm just going to cover up a little bit of his ear, but that's okay. So cute. All right, we have one more finishing touch, and this one might be the cutest of all, of these loose daisy embellishments. We're going to add some of these to our projects. I'm just going to use some. Ooh, that's a lot. Hold on. Ooh. Let me put that on a piece of scrap paper. I don't want to. A little bit there. I'm just adding 5 little dots of adhesive, and we'll just add the little daisies. You can use your take your pick tool, and I'm going with the white daisies on this one, but you can do any of the daisies. They're so cute. You can use glue dots to attach these too. If you are not a fan of the liquid glue, the glue dots will be fine. They're so cute. Okay. I missed I did. I missed one down here. So one there, and then we have one more over here. Perfect. And that, my friends, that is it. That is our sweet little honey buns box. Let me pull this out. And so it has a little Debbie honey buns inside it, which goes perfectly with that bear. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you are shopping, this is my host code for October. Please make sure to use that on all orders under $150. If your order is over $150, you get the host rewards, so you're going to want to leave that host code off. If you want to take advantage of that starter kit deal and put this bundle in your pre-order, I don't blame you. It's super cute. There is a link to join my team in the video description. If you want more information on joining my team, please let me know that as well. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll be live again, hopefully when my paper pumpkin comes. And I will also be live on Sunday for week 4 of my 12 weeks of Christmas. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.